Paul Charchian. How are you, Mr. Take Me to Charch?
Good morning, Paul. I am great because I am talking to you.
What's the weather like out Utah way these days?
Getting rain, which is not normal here. We haven't had much rain since I moved here, basically. But it's apparently we're in rainy season, so we are 60 degrees and drizzling right now. Again, totally unique for the conditions here, but still warm and it's beautiful.
Any regrets relocating, and how badly do you want to come back?
I miss you. I miss my friends at the station. I miss the listeners. I miss the feast. I miss the ready availability of great restaurants, high-end restaurants. If you want those, high-end grocery, you want those. Like, I want a great bag of grapes. Where I am in southern Utah, that's a total crapshoot. Whereas, there are a plethora of great grocery stores in the Twin Cities. If I want to see Hayes Carl play at the Amsterdam last night, no can do. Those bands don't come through southern Utah. So those are some of the things that I miss. But overall, I still wake up and go, my God, I'm waking up in where people go to vacation. Yeah, it's really pretty great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. All right, football.
How's by the way, hold on. Speaking of the feast, did I hear you say correctly going into the break?
Yeah.
That this week's feast is Blaine?
Yeah, we're Blaine, and day after Thanksgiving, I believe we are Mall of America.
What?
Yep, it's
wow. The Mall of America's back in play.
Yeah,
Black Friday.
Power Trip's going to be there, so maybe it's an all-day show bit. Maybe it's just the first two shows. I don't know, but it's day after Thanksgiving. MOA for the feast, and Blaine tomorrow. Hey. Who would you rather have and why? All right. Now, this is not fantasy. This is just be an elite reality football mind. Who would you rather have and why? Drake May or Bo Nix?
It's Drake May, and it's not close.
Why?
Drake May he has led a team with almost no help around him. Almost none. He's still got a terrible offensive line. He's got one functional receiver, Stebbings, who's coming off ACL. And he makes bleep happen. It doesn't matter from the pocket. He is sprinting out right, and he'll go run for a first down or a throw on the run. He oozes leadership. He is scoring points that Bo Nix is not. I mean, sooner or later, Bo Nix needs to throw touchdowns. That's not happening. Drake May is right now, if you were going to give the MVP to anybody, let alone the two players that we're talking about in this conversation, Drake May is at or near the top of the MVP voting. It's not close. And maybe he got some conditioning at North Carolina where he had a terrible offensive line. Yep. And that guy did what he had to do to survive and win. Mm-hmm. He's doing that now with the Patriots. And you can see a scenario where even if this year isn't a Super Bowl year for Drake May, in this offseason, they fortify the offensive line again, which they did a little bit this past offseason, and they add a wide receiver to a defense that's already number one against the run, and now you've got a legitimate Super Bowl team next year for Drake May. That the Patriots look like they're going to head for another long run of great play, Paul.
Okay, now what about this one? What about who would you rather have and why? Running back Travion Henderson or running back Omarion Hampton, who should return next week?
Well, okay. I mean, the temptation is to say Henderson because we've seen him recently. Hampton hasn't played in, 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. But what Hampton had showed before he got hurt was that he looked like a workhorse back that I don't think Travion Henderson is. Travion Henderson, slider of build, special back, incredible burst. He can catch, but I don't think he's 25 touches a game. And Hampton can be, he can be a power runner of which the league has only got like 4 or 5 of. Hampton's got that kind of upside. So I think I would take Hampton, but Travion Henderson for the Patriots has looked really good. Ramondre Stevenson expected back this week, and presumably they're going to go right back to the timeshare, the frustrating timeshare that fantasy players hate.
Okay. Paul Charchian, by the way, via X, via Twitter, at Paul Charchian. Follow him if you're so inclined, as 9 to noon does. So Buffalo's at the Houston Texans tonight. Covenant claps. We got covenant claps for Charch right here, okay? 4 years late, but you nailed that Davis Mills take.
I was, when I was thinking about this game and some topics that we could talk about for this game, I was thinking about exactly that, and I'm glad you were too. Pre-draft, I'm like, this Davis Mills guy looks like he could be an NFL quarterback. I'm not saying he's looked better than C.J. Stroud in the last 3 games, but he's looked good, and he's doing exactly what I would do, Paul. If I were Davis Mills as a backup quarterback, and I'm trying to put together some tape that could keep me in the league for years to come, I would throw to Nico Collins all the time. And that's what he's done. These last 3 games since C.J. Stroud's had his concussion, it's been 11 targets to Nico Collins, 15 targets, and 11 targets. That's what I would do as well. And I think you're going to see plenty of Nico Collins. He's the only game breaker they've really got on offense. And none of the Buffalo cornerbacks are particularly good. They've dusted off for Darius White, and there's nothing special there. You're going to see a lot of Nico Collins tonight in all probability.
Who's the Texans lead back? Is it something called Woody Marks?
It is. It's Woody Marks, and he's pretty good.
Okay.
There's been this transition from Nick Chubb to Woody Marks. Marks has gotten triple the usage over the last 3 weeks. And here's what's going on with Buffalo. There's been a lot of talk about Buffalo and their struggling season, inconsistent season. Very little talk about the real problem for Buffalo. They can't stop the run. They are an awful run defense. Last week, Sean Tucker put up 140 yards and scored 3 times on them. Week before that, Devon Achane, 225 yards and 2 touchdowns against Buffalo. They've allowed rushing touchdowns in 8 straight games. Woody Marks, who is traditionally in most fantasy leagues, we've had him on the bench, and he did flop in a pretty favorable matchup against the Titans last week. But this is an easier one. Buffalo's worse than the Titans against the run,
right.
And you're gonna see a good Woody Marks game coming tonight, I believe.
Yeah, that's why I was setting it up, because this Buffalo run defense is just so sketchy. Nordo?
Well, what about Josh Allen? Everyone's hot off the 3 passing TDs, the 3 rushing TDs over the weekend, but the Texans do statistically have the best defense in the NFL. Is this a trouble spot for Mr. Allen? People like me needing Josh to come up big. I need points from the QB spot. Is Josh Allen the answer?
And Josh Allen, lifetime 0 for 3 at NRG Stadium. Completion percentage 46. I mean, that includes a playoff game. Yeah, he's been awful against the Texans on the road.
I did not know that. I knew he faced Houston last year, and Josh Allen passed for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. Here's how good. You mentioned Houston's the best defense, and they are probably the best defense in the league. They are top 3 in rushing yards allowed, passing yards allowed, and points allowed.
Hey.
That probably makes you the best defense in the league. Here's what they're doing to opposing passers. No opposing quarterback has topped 213 yards in 7 straight games. 213 is nothing, and 7 straight quarterbacks have been under it. They've given up just 10 passing touchdowns in 10 games this year. No opposing quarterback has scored a rushing touchdown against Houston. Of course, with Josh Allen, that's a lot of what we're here for, is that Khalil Shakir may not play in this game or will be playing hurt. There is nothing to like about this game for Josh Allen. So normally somebody that's in every week rolling in as a top 3, top 4 fantasy quarterback. This week, he's quarterback 8 for me, and it's only as high as 8 on the hope that he does get the first touchdown that any quarterback's had on the ground against Houston.
Hey, Charch, I mean, we're seeing some movement at the quarterback spot, specifically this week, whether it's Penix, he's got the 3rd knee situation with the ACL. You're seeing Shedeur start for the Browns, although the fantasy feasting in Cleveland has not been great this year. But Burrow returning to practice in Cincy and the implications of that, like, what pops in your head when you think, well, maybe we just start with Kirk, for instance, and Drake London and Pitts, et cetera? How does that impact Bijan's usage, et cetera, with the Falcons?
So Kirk's a tricky one. He's coming off last week when he had to put in a fair amount of time. I thought he played as well as we've seen him play since the injury. But in totality, Cousins has not been able to split this offense. He's played 17 drives this year, 1 touchdown so far. His completion rate on is longer than 9 yards, which is not very far. Longer than 9 is not a big ask. 28% completion rate on longer than 9 yards. No Drake London this week, Kirk. So the real fantasy angle, I think, with Kirk is more, what does it mean for Bijan Robinson? Because we care a lot about Bijan Robinson and what he's going to do. I'm afraid every opponent's going to walk in with a game plan to simply stop Bijan Robinson and take the chances on Kirk beating him. I looked up every play Bijan Robinson has had with Kirk Cousins at the helm this year. He's touched the ball 16 times. He's averaging 2.5 yards per carry, 0 touchdowns. So Bijan may have to have some games where he just has to be superhuman, which he can do because he is that good. He can be superhuman, but he can't be every game. And some defenses are going to shut him down. And I think we're going to look, as we broaden out our view of the rest of the season for Bijan, I think there's just going to be some dud games coming where defenses do whatever it takes to stop him.
With Burrow, Charch, I haven't followed it deeply enough to say, like, here's how Jamar Chase has struggled for fantasy players, or T. Higgins, here's where he has had the advantage, from Browning into the Flacco games, etc. But just the prospect for a bad team in the fan base maybe finding hope with their version in number 9 taking the field again. What does that mean? Could he, should he come back and play?
I think Burrow's going to play this week. Flacco might be in worse shape with his shoulder injury than Burrow is with his toe injury. So I think, based on what we know right now, which could change, I think it's going to be Joe Burrow here. And now he won't have Jamar Chase because of the spitting suspension.
Yeah.
I can't imagine either of you have ever spit somebody out of anger. Is that safe to say?
I don't want to go never.
No, I've been spit on.
I think I've definitely been spit on.
I think 82, 83, I got spit on. Had Lucius Tisdale beat somebody up for me.
I don't know. I've never been a fighter per se, but I've asked for it a number of times.
Well, the guy, the electric football game where you got the guys with the nice bases and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, Shirley, God rest her soul, was paying cold hard cash for those special bases to be sent to me so I could win these games. And Miles Spires tried to steal my superstar bases. We got in an argument, spit in my face. I had Lucius Tisdale beat him up.
That's fantastic.
I would rather someone take a swing at me, Charch, than actually spit in my face. I think that's as degrading and awful as it gets.
I think there's the appropriate response to somebody spitting on you is to start swinging it, right? Yes. I mean, I think at that point, you're in the right at that stage. So Jamar will not play in this game. Joe Burrow will be a quarterback. It's the Patriots. We've already talked a little bit about the Patriots. Their run defense is phenomenal. And so what teams do is they pass a lot. And we're going to see potentially a lot of passing. Joe Burrow, it's going to have to go a lot to T. Higgins. Higgins has got a tricky individual matchup against cornerback Christian Gonzalez, who's awesome, and I think will shadow Higgins. And so that means Burrow's going to be challenged to go get Andre Yosebach or Mitchell Tinsley involved, which I don't love those matchups. Maybe, for Burrow, we just let this one play out. This is a tough matchup. You don't have Jamar Chase. He needs to shake off 10 weeks of rust. Maybe you don't start him here. We wait more week and see what we've got next week.
All right. We know you have 4.5 minutes with this busy Fantasy Thursday, so let's fly through some. Vikings at Green Bay and Fantasy Steamers.
Yeah.
All right, from that game. Now, let me lead into it with this. Justin Jefferson has not had a 100 or more yard game this year since Cleveland. That's the longest drought of his career. Are we for sure using Justin this weekend?
Justin has fallen out of absolute sure thing lock fantasy starting status. I mean, before it was just muscle memory. He's in my lineup. That's it. And he didn't even think twice about it. Where we are now with Jefferson, it's not disaster grade stuff. He's my wide for 18 this week. But at 18, there's a chance you've got other receivers that just give you more upside than what we've been able to get out of Justin Jefferson, which obviously has not been the fantasy juice that we want. Even if the target numbers have looked good, and God bless JJ McCarthy, he's getting the ball to his best receiver, which obviously I would too, but just the 2 touchdowns so far through 10 games. You mentioned has diminishing numbers over the past 3 weeks. there's a chance that you've got a situation where you're like, okay, Ted McMillan or Justin Jefferson. That used to be an obvious question. If not anymore. Jamison Williams for the Lions, Justin Jefferson. Devontae Smith or Justin Jefferson. Rome Odunze or Justin Jefferson. Those are now much tougher questions than they ever used to be.
Aaron Jones had 140 from scrimmage against those guys last year. Didn't score when Darnold ripped them up 28-0 at halftime, though. What does one do with Aaron?
Especially if you're in PPR, you're getting points per reception. We're going to continue to play Aaron. I would like to see he's been targeted 6 times the last 2 games. Those are great target numbers. And honestly, I think I think Aaron Jones, since coming back from his injury, I think he's looked pretty spry. Don't you agree? I think he's brought some energy to the field. He's always had great footwork, and I like what I've seen from him. And he's clearly developed into the preferred back over Jordan Mason. Does that all feel fair to you guys?
Well, you know what? About 10, 15 minutes from now, you'll hear a 5-minute conversation I recorded in the locker room yesterday with Aaron Jones, and we talked about his return and the evolution of his hamstring since his return. So that's around the corner. Darnold had 3 touchdowns, including 1 rushing at Tennessee last year. I'd use him for sure this week, Darnold. In fact, I'd elevate him over some quarterbacks that you're kind of like, wow, well, I mean, I use this guy every week. And here's why. Because this is a more pressure-free game than last week against the Rams. You can count on old Sammy in those games.
Absolutely. I was really hoping, Paul, that Sam would shake the narrative of he can't handle pressure.
He still has a chance.
If you rattle Sam, that he's devolve. And a Sam Darnold defender this year, I thought his level of play had been outstanding, MVP level until last week, and then the old narrative got him again. And I just want to believe that Sam still has a lot of room to get better. And against Tennessee, it probably does get better. The Tennessee pass defense is not horrible, but not close to what Sam just saw. And Tennessee is where, once again, I think Sam gets on track. Do not make the mistake of just replaying last week's box score. You can absolutely get Sam Darnold back into your lineups. He is my quarterback 9 this week.
God bless you, Roxy, and your family. We obviously are off next Thursday, so we will chat with you in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much for the time, and have a good day, okay?
You are the best. Talk to you later, my man. Bye-bye.
PA and Chart.
It's 11:27. Good morning. Spent some of the VMD, the Vocal Maintenance Day, taking in some hot walkthrough action at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center and watching the purple and gold plan start to unfurl for Lambeau. You see, only 7 to go. And the local team is a long shot for the postseason until they show all of us consistency, start rattling off some games, then the conversation and the narrative changes. And if they don't make the playoffs, poof. Just think about this for a second. And we're excited, to hone in more on the Howl, Christmas colors, Motzko, everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Love them all.
Love them all.
But just listen to this. And if they don't make the playoffs, poof.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's awful.
In a month and a half, and doesn't heat up again for many months.
No.
I thought of you when I wrote that.
Well, because
I know it saddens you.
Yes. I just think about
sad.
From the optimism 2 years ago of this team is going to target a quarterback in the draft going into 2024. And think about the offseason talkers there. Into offseason, into 2025. The optimism of the healthy QB. If we don't find our way into the playoffs and it goes poof and it's over and we see some of what we've been seeing, Those talkers are going to be ugly, man. I mean, it's going to be 2.5 months of.
It might cause me to start taking phone calls again and calling to the Vikings radio network.
I'm going to need to rewire my neurological freaking pathways.
I might actually look at 64686 for the first time in my life.
I don't know if we want to do that, but we'll have talkbacks. We'll have Motzko's team.
Well, stop thinking about it.
All right, fine.
Jordan Love as a starter. I shared this earlier. Jordan Love is a starter from week 12 on, 25 touchdowns and just 1 pick. So I guess this is when he puts the pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me. So we'll see all about that this weekend. And how about this with our guy, J.J. McCarthy? The first 2 possessions of his 5 starts, his passer rating is 125.9 and his yards per attempt, 8 and change. Those are both top 5 in the NFL. Thank you, Spearfish. And we know from Soldier Field, the final 2 drives last Sunday, and for long patches in that Lions game, big boy can absolutely handle pressure.
Yeah.
So how do we fix the in-between when he's like 35% on third down and is throwing more picks than touchdowns? Anybody have that answer?
I don't have that answer. And
I don't either.
And we roll in here with Lieber, and he's like, well, it's the middle 30. The middle 30?
Middle 30. Games are only 60.
Oh, my goodness. That's half the game. It's that. So
it's half the game.
Throw all that out, as we talked about it, and I thought Lieber put it perfectly just from my mindset. Like, I got fatigue right now when it comes to neurological pathways and footwork and hips turning and shoulder heights and all of that and arm angles, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really pumped to see J.J. McCarthy play at Lambeau.
Yeah.
And I want to see,
Me too.
And I want to see growth. I want to see growth. I don't care about I don't care about the leg angles and width and all of those. I just want to see growth. That's all it is. Somewhere in the middle 30. How about a touchdown shortly before half? How about the first possession of the third quarter? Team goes 8 plays, 75 yards, and scores a TD. Like that's going to be cool if that happens at Lambeau on Sunday.
I can't say things are so hot with this and with him. I mean, things are tenuous.
Yeah.
When the to whom much is given, much is expected narrative is known in hearts by many within the Egan facility.
Yeah.
And they genuinely care. And they're super gifted and super talented, but it's 4-6. And we have neurological pathways.
Yeah.
Neurological pathways have now entered the chat in a brain-related form of bilateral leg weakness. When that first hit Joe Mauer and people were like, what? Bilateral leg weakness.
Or like load management in the NBA, general soreness.
There you go. Well, what's his injury? Lower body. Okay, cool. There's a lot with the lower body. It's lower body. Okay, cool. Let's talk about Guy Lafleur.
Oh.
It's why I bring that up is because, like, I'm not big time second guessing guy, and certainly, I mean, when Tuesday when we were talking to O'Connell and I was sharing, well, the last game is the first game that he didn't run, and pretty staunch, stern pocket presence. Okay, well, I mean, we also know, either because it's been said publicly or I overshared, that the head coach is purposely making things challenging for him.
Yes.
To raise the kid quarterback and expedite the process. And this bleep ain't easy.
I think in his own way, he's been kind of forthright about that.
Sure, that's great. I mean, he knows more about it than us, and he's proven, and he has a ring. End of story. Box, 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 box. That's a box. However, I just like when he does the read option.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one that 3 months before the season said, if he runs for 3 first downs a game, we're in fine fettle.
And I agree with that. Do you think that the coach, he talked about, JJ's like, I take my dog for walks, I get an extra 10 reps in. Do you think he has like some sort of like a shot collar that was, if he leaves the pocket, there's an invisible fence?
Hips go the wrong way, and dog runs in the street, and here come cars. Yeah, I mean,
I was wondering the other day, I'm like, how hands-on, I think I texted you this, how hands-on is McCown? Like, where is Josh McCown in this process?
And were you setting up a bit with that? I didn't understand what you were.
I was going to go a direction, then I had a second thought on it, because I was just negative when I heard these press conference audio bits, and it was driving me insane. I wonder if McCown's there. He's got the remote to the collar.
The kid looked, I was 3 feet away from him when he was talking about the neurological pathways.
Yes.
I mean, again, I'm not looked into his eyes, and I know this is right. He's just tired.
Yeah.
He just is, it's the pop or lack thereof in the voice, ruddy cheeks.
Yeah.
Curly hair coming out of the hat.
Oh, yeah.
Rounded shoulders.
Just like a kid.
He's a kid.
He's a kid.
A kid at a time.
And I think he's saying things.
But I had to walk away. I mean, I like after the neurological pathways thing hit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't like.
Right.
I just, picked up my bag and just walked into the locker room.
The way I see the kid, I think he's honest. I think he says what he believes. I don't see him. I don't see a performative angle of it. I also see a kid that's just never been thrust in this spot before.
Yep.
And I think
that's why I hated the 9-bit.
Yeah.
Because I think
it's of the same mental origins in some ways.
The 9 is look at me, look at me. He's not look at me, look at me.
No.
He's ruddy cheeks, curly hair coming out of the ball cap, kid at a time.
Yeah. And he's been raised almost in a laboratory to be a starting quarterback, and now he's here, and it is not going perfectly. So just go play. Just forget the neurological pathways, turn that old brain off, and let her rip on Sunday. And I think that's in itself just a simple recipe for success.
I like the read option.
Read option would be sweet.
I like when he runs.
I do too.
He's fast. He's fast and he's smart. He can slide responsibly.
In fairness, I would say let's put that trick play with the throwback to where we get him running the ball on a 3rd and 11 with O linemen blocking in front of him, and then he dives head first and takes a bad hit.
Yeah.
If we can just move that play to maybe the very back of the playbook, and then do maybe some different type of run opportunities.
Yeah. If you want, between segments, let me show you the play. And show you.
I know there was a blocking, Al.
Well, yeah, but if there wasn't, there's a TDW.
Oh.
TDW.
All right.
But I get you, though. All right, Aaron Jones. We got border battle this weekend. Aaron Jones runs with McCarthy. Byron Murphy Jr. will be charged with hampering Jordan Love. So yours truly walked around the locker room yesterday with the drive-by contraption and started with Aaron recalling the reception the former Packer received last year at Lambeau Field.
Yes, sir. They really did. It was a special moment for me. Something I'll always remember, cherish, and I thank them for that as well.
Did you expect anything different? Like when you ran out, I mean, you go down those long, treacherous stairs that the visitors, as you learn, go down. Did you think it would be different?
I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to get cheers, if I was going to get booed. Mixed reviews. I didn't know. But a lot of people told me, hey, no, they'll receive you well. So, but kind of walking down the stairs, I'm like, how is this about to turn out?
What do you remember about that game? Because it was a crazy game, man. You guys jumped them 28-0, then they come charging back at you.
Yeah, it was back and forth. We got up early, and you can never too high, never too low. It's the NFL, and everybody's good. So, like you say, you may see a 28-point lead, 27-point lead, and it becomes a game at the end. Most games come down to a one-possession game, but ultimately it was fun. I was glad to come out on the right side of it, and next time we just got to put them away early.
And for you, I mean, you've played in the playoffs, man. You've had some really good games and big moments all of your career. But from a surreal standpoint, or just like a weird feeling of looking around at Lambeau, Football Americana, and you're wearing the different colors, I mean, what was that like?
Yeah, I hadn't had that feeling before. Or even just going into another stadium with the other fans cheering for you, calling your name, and you're wearing a different jersey. So that was very new for me. But I definitely felt the love, and I got nothing but love for them.
Two more, and thanks for the time. You went for I think it was 140 from scrimmage total. Didn't get into the end zone, though. You didn't get into the end zone. I'll just leave it right there. I know you want to score there, right?
Got to. Got to sniff the end zone. Got to smell it. Got to get in there. If I don't do anywhere, that's definitely a place that I want to do it the most. So, got to find a way.
And obviously, depending on how the game goes, I mean, Lambeau leaps, Viking vaults, call them whatever you want. I mean, if you're losing and you score, you got to think about that. But if the situation works out and you get into the end zone, you guys are winning, it's a big moment or whatever, are you leaping up there?
100%. Doing the bank vault.
Lastly, you've now played several games since coming back from that hamstring, and I don't know what it's like to be a high octane athlete like you, but like when you come back from something, I can't imagine it's 10 of 10 right when you get back. I mean, has it been a little bit of a process to get the hamstring and the mind meshing together? And if so, where are you now?
It definitely has been a process. Like you said, you got to make that muscle to mind connection, especially after coming back from injury. You still may feel it at times. You may feel it grab, feel like you're going to maybe re-injure yourself. So you kind of trying to protect yourself at times. But I feel like I'm kind of getting past that now and really starting to be able to run how I want to run. Kind of had to tempo it down the past couple weeks and couldn't get to full speed. My top speed, I wouldn't say full speed, but my top speed. So now I feel like I'm turning the corner on that, and it's no better time than now to be getting over it. So
is Mom coming this weekend?
Mom will be there. She's already there. She's already there.
Wow. I mean, with all due respect to Green Bay, Appleton, and every Wisconsin town, is that where she lives? Because I'm saying, like, getting there to that state and that early, I mean, what do you do?
So she's back and forth between here and Green Bay. She still works in Green Bay. She works at the airport there, so I might maybe seeing her flying out Monday. But yeah, she works for United there probably twice a week, and then the rest of the time she's here.
So, well, now you got to score.
I got to multiple times.
He's Showtime. He's Byron Murphy Jr., who loves playing at Lambeau Field, and that's how we started that chat.
Yes, sir, definitely. Obviously, this is another division game. Obviously, we've made some plays out there. Got to go out there and do the same thing. But, yeah, definitely always, go out there and it's a battle.
I'll never forget chatting with you in the locker room at Green Bay last year. It was such a strange game for you because you were having a tough time, and they just kept going at you. And then all of a sudden he throws up one of those punts, you pick it off, and it's like you got your confidence, and then you caused a major forced fumble, I think, on Tucker Kraft. I mean, have you probably haven't had many up and down single days like that in your career, have you?
No, definitely not. And obviously, remembering that game going back, I remember on that wheel route, number 11 scored on me. So I went into halftime like, okay, they keep trying me. Obviously they scored on me, so I'm gonna go back out there and obviously go make plays. Obviously not, waiting patiently, let those plays come. But obviously second half came out there, made some plays, and then had to punch out as well. So obviously, getting beat like that definitely brings you confidence as a DB to go out there and make a play.
Does the 0 interceptions at this point weigh on you?
Definitely. Obviously it's something, that stays in my mind. Obviously something, I got to, not trying to force anything, but go out there and, try to make that play for the team. Obviously that's, like I said, it's been on my mind. I've been, trying to get a turnover, either punch out, pick anything, but obviously I feel like they're going to come, obviously, but right now, definitely not happy with it.
But see, the reason I brought it up is because I watch all these things back, and you don't have much opportunity. I mean, there hasn't been as much opportunity this year. It's not like, we've had 10 thrown at you and you're dropping them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Targets, I haven't got really many targets this year, but obviously the ones that do come, I got to go make a play. I remember like the Eagles, I'm not going to forget this either. First target I got, A.J. Brown scored, so stuff like that, I got to go make the play. But obviously knowing targets ain't going, I got to go find a way to make one.
How do they like to play? I mean, are they balanced? Like when they're going good, what are they doing?
They got a lot of weapons, I would say. Got a lot of good receivers. Obviously Jordan Love, a great quarterback who will make any throw on the field. But yeah, I think they do a good job at spreading the ball, getting those guys all around, getting them touches. Obviously, tight end kind of he's banged up out for the season, so the next guy up, he's trying to get the ball to everybody. So that's just a good thing to know as a DB. You got to be on your toes.
What's it been like having Isaiah around this year?
It's been great. That's my guy. That's my buddy. That's my best friend. We keep saying we always joking around, but his presence here been obviously helping the young guys as well. He played a lot of ball. Always talk about getting a Super Bowl because he won the Super Bowl, so I got to get one too. But no, he's been a great teammate, a great guy in our room. Obviously one of the leaders in our room as well.
Last one, and earlier you said, like I asked you about the 0, and you said, staying within the confines of what you're asked to do. Because human nature gets to win too sometimes. So I mean, sometimes you see things and you think, you probably want to jump it, but you don't want to jump it for yourself to get maybe number one. Exactly. And is that how it works?
It's definitely how it works. Obviously this is a team game, so you got to stick to your assignments. Always, the little things, say one of the little things I try to go make a play that's out of the call. That's going to be, that's one of the biggest plays I could have had the whole game. That's going to mess up the game. So those little details, those little moments, like I said, I got to just stay patient. Obviously not happy, obviously coming off last year, all those things, but I'm trying not to look pass. So I'm just trying to, obviously go make plays, but definitely got to go make some.
Yes, sir. God bless and good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Byron Murphy Jr. after Aaron Jones. Let's get a Jones touchdown to Lambeau. A Byron Murphy Jr. interception. Get off the schneid. Call it a Sunday. Back after this. Hey, Alec.
Hey, Paul.
Buffalo Wild Wings Blaine for the feast tomorrow. There are some takes bouncing around to underestimate Jordan Love at somebody's own risk. Many think he can be elite, and some people want to call them crazy, but they say he has it. The pocket movement, the accuracy, the touch, the arm talent, it's all there. Can't give him time. You can't let him get in rhythm. If he does that, look out. Do you feel that way?
That's really good analysis. Not sure where you uncovered that. Maybe it was at theathletic.com, at The Athletic. But yeah, I am of the opinion that Jordan Love is good. It's interesting because there are times when you watch him and you're like, what is the deal here? But overall, I think Jordan Love is very talented. I've talked to people inside the building, who in Egan who think he's talented. So, yeah, this is an interesting one this weekend, and we'll be talking about it in Blaine, I think.
Yep. See you at Buffalo Wild Wings Blaine. Rumor has it there will be another high school marching band. That happened years ago when Lakeville South started it. Then everybody started to show up. So if the Blaine High School band is there, we will welcome them with open ears and arms, and we will thoroughly enjoy it. Right?
And yeah, and I think by the end, I mean, if the bands are going to keep showing up, I'll put together a power rankings at The Athletic of the high school bands at the Buffalo Wild Wings, and I think we can do that.
The best. I'm heading out there after the show. I'll see you in a little bit. All right.
Yep. Bye-bye.
See you, buddy. Thanks for the good times today. Alec Lewis with Nordo and yours truly. Buffalo Wild Wings Blaine for the Friday football. Buffalo Wild Wings Blaine. Now, Dan Cole, the common man, is coming up next. He's in the bullpen, feverishly preparing to beat something called Karsh and Anderson in some radio podcast, Field of 64.
Ooh.
Oh, you're going to hear plenty about that around the corner. At FM 100.3 KFAN, I'm Paul Allen. God bless all of you. Thanks for listening. Have wonderful days. Bye.
9 to noon.
If it's good news or money, leave a message.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.